Hello, Fort Belvoir. Welcome to Belvoir in the Know, the only podcast created especially for the Fort Belvoir community to help you stay in the know on the go. I'm Command Sergeant Major Greg Kleinels, the Garrison Command Sergeant Major.
I'm Colonel Josh Seagraves, the Garrison Commander. Special guest for today's episode, Miss Sheryl Karidias, the Garrison's Industrial Hygienist. We're pleased to speak with Sheryl today about indoor air quality in the home and how this affects the health and overall quality of life for individuals. So, Sheryl, thank you for joining us. Just start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your job as the IH.
So again, my name is Sheryl Karidias. I'm with the Garrison Command. I actually have a Bachelor of Science degree from or environmental health from ODU. Just a few examples of my curriculum included toxicology, biology, chemistry, just to name a few. I worked as an IH probably about 8 years for Naval Medical Center Portsmouth, which houses numerous industrial operations requiring in-depth sampling as well. And that sampling included air sampling, which involves air pumps drawing possible contaminants. There's noise monitoring, ventilation surveys, really anything involving environmental factors and stressors. And when I say stressors, I mean solvents, particulates, industrial areas, radiation, temperature extremes, ergonomics, and biological. And I know those stressors may cause sickness, impaired health, and significant discomfort. Once the sampling is completed, it is shipped for analysis and forwarded back for interpretation. And this process allows the IH to provide the best possible recommendations as well.
Yeah, well, we should just stop right now. That was great. Really good rundown on just general industrial hygiene and some of your qualifications, but also some of the things you've been involved in. So very impressive. Thanks for covering that. Let's talk for a minute about what exactly is indoor air quality and why is it so important?
Well, it is important, sir. It just refers, IAQ refers to air within and around buildings and structures as it relates to the health and discomfort of the occupants. And that can range from pet dander to mold. And as you probably have heard on the news, sir, poor air quality can be outdoors as well, especially when you have manufacturers producing various pollutants in the air. However, today we're primarily focusing on indoor air quality. So yeah. It's definitely important to have good air quality to prevent discomfort, or the potential of health issues, especially for an individual with pre-existing conditions, such as allergies, asthma, or even upper respiratory issues. Poor air quality can definitely, exacerbate those conditions as well.
Nice. Really good. Good rundown.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. I mean, and you said ODU so confidently, Old Dominion University. So no, it's great. Hey, and we really enjoy, having you a part of the team. So what are some of the factors that can contribute to a poor indoor air quality?
Some factors could be pollutants, combustible byproducts such as carbon monoxide, particulate matter, and even tobacco smoke, radon, pet dander, mold, pesticides, lead, asbestos, even ozone from air cleaners, VOCs, which is volatile organic compounds, toluene paints and woods, just to name a few.
No, yeah, that's really good. And something I didn't think about is the ozones from those little spray bottles. That's, for air fresheners. Some people probably don't think, that to that level. But so thanks for providing some great examples.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. That was good. I think you provided a lot of data already. We do have some more stuff to cover, but I think one thing we should tell our listeners is okay, just because you have some of the things in your home that Sheryl mentioned doesn't mean you have poor indoor air quality.
Yeah.
It just right. It's just another point of okay, well, let's just consider how we're using these and when we're using them and what the environment is around our use of these these normal sort of what sometimes could be everyday items. So just thinking through that and to pull that thread a little bit more, what are some tips to help improve indoor air quality?
Some tips were, that I would recommend is just to use natural cleaning products, making sure your carpets are cleaned, change out your filters on a regular basis, dusting, just using a moist cloth, and that could be for your home or even in your office. Keeping windows closed, especially during the springtime. That way it will, not allow pollen, and if someone's cutting the grass, to come into your house or your office. Also verifying containment while work, is being conducted in the home as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, so for our listeners, one of the things that Sheryl does is she does a pre-restoration IH inspection and post-restoration IH inspection for housing as part of our housing QA internal to the Garrison quality assurance. And also that just helps to keep everything above board with our contractors and our privatized housing company, which by the way, have been doing a great job as of late since we switched over the owner operator piece. So really good point on the containment and helping out with housing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I like how you mentioned about the air filters. Whether you change them every 3 months or you like me, I change mine every month. Because I got a lot of animals in the house, and it just tries to help it. And I know the Colonel has talked about in past podcasts about getting the right type of filter for your HVAC unit. Makes a big difference. So, with that said, we talked a lot about the home, but is there a difference between the indoor air quality for the home versus office spaces?
You can find similar contaminants in both places, some obviously more than others. In the office, you're going to have a larger population. You may experience high levels of CO2, which is carbon dioxide, and that could cause headaches. In this case, sampling, is definitely a must. There may be chemical hazards, depending on the operation, physical hazards, ionizing radiation, noise, vibration, or even extreme temperatures. And of course, in a residence, you should not find, I would say, most of these, exposures or hazards.
No, that's really good because you identify some people's workspaces may not actually be in an office. It could be their environmental workspace to where they work every day. So thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, those are good. Again, another good roll up of possible hazards in the workspace when related to air quality. A lot of good examples there. So you touched on it a little bit, but can you go just a little bit deeper on when should someone contact the Garrison Industrial Hygienist? And then if they want to contact you, how do they do that?
Well, someone or people should contact me, say if they're having problems with their HVAC system, say if it's too cold or too hot, they see visible mold, any type of staining on the tiles or the ceiling. It could be a potential maybe water damage to the roof. And as far as who to contact, if you're in housing, that would be Jennifer Hudson through housing, and Alicia Luster, which is the ombudsman. If you're in the office, I would recommend contacting your facilities manager, and then they would put in a work order. And then by contacting me, it's either through Teams or email.
Great. I'm sure we'll post those contacts along with the podcast so everybody has them. So is there anything else you want to share with our audience?
Just remember, I'm here to help everyone, the residents, just to have a healthy work environment and a home environment. And then, just remember that it is a team effort with RCI partners and DPW as well. So it's definitely a team effort.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely is. No single points of failure, and it definitely takes a team to get everything done that has to be done, both in the workplace and for housing, as you mentioned. So thanks for mentioning that. So, all right, Fort Belvoir, we've come to the end of another great episode. Thank you for joining us today. Sergeant Major, any final thoughts?
Yes, sir. Hey, thanks for Sheryl for everything you do for on the team. It's definitely one of those positions that we have that some people may not know who you are or what you do, but just know that your position is very valuable to the garrison. And also, I think, equally or maybe even more importantly to our residents, as I know you do a lot of home inspections to make sure that we have a great place to live, work, and play. So thanks for what you do every day.
You're welcome.
Great. Thanks, Cheryl, and thank you, Sergeant Major. So remember, don't forget to download the digital Garrison app and make Fort Belvoir your installation of choice. We still get credit for that. We're getting between 50 and 100 per month, so please do that. Also, on the app, you have access to all of our information about the Garrison, as well as tips from Cheryl. It's at the hashtag IH Corner, so make sure you check that out. Connect with us on our website and our social media. Consider getting the COVID vaccine and booster if you have not done so. Please practice good hand hygiene, wear a mask, and practice physical distancing where appropriate. And finally, thank you for joining us. And from me to you, now you know.